first is that there has been a lot of focus on food production, but also mitigating the impacts. And there has been less focus on all the other environmental services that you can get from agroecosystems and from dairy. And I think that's now a big challenge. That's the first. The second is how to get that transition going. So how do you get the farmers to adopt alternative practices or farming systems, and how do we reward that in economic terms or in other ways, support that transition. Undoubtedly, you have to talk about food production. And then it might also be very relevant at specific regions. If you ask me, I think I would focus perhaps on landscapes and then particular practices that you can implement into the landscapes regarding, for instance, application of grasslands, permanent grasslands, but also creating those habitats inside the landscapes that can favor biodiversity, and biodiversity that is functional to the production in itself. There's been a shift in how we look at the systems, and despite, for me, technological innovations do have a role, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that, and I would perhaps put more emphasis on how do we design systems that are complex and that we try to think in an ecological way which are the mechanisms that we need to underpin the production, and then how do we remunerate, and that should come also from different angles. So it should come from public administrations, should also come from private companies, value chain wide, but I'm also looking here at finance institutions that might also have a role to play in this transition. Yeah, I think one of the elements that I would also like to emphasize, it's the generation of knowledge, but also not only from knowledge institutions, that's the one I belong to, but also getting the knowledge from the ground and recognizing that knowledge that farmers themselves already have, and that I'm always very impressed on how they put that knowledge to practice, and those farmers that dare to try new things. And I think it's very important that we support those farmers that are very willing to try out new things, and that we support in this risk that they carry from research, but also from public institutions. I think the most important is to start and taking it from a conscious point of view. How can I contribute to ecosystem services or reduction of impacts? From my experience, and I've been talking about landscapes before, but from my experience, I think one of the key elements that dairy can contribute with is the grasslands. And how do we maintain permanent grasslands in the long time that are diverse, but they also have habitats, and that might be surrounded also with linear elements that are not per se productive, trees or hedgerows and so on, but also combined with these older cultural elements, which can be wall stones that in certain areas are definitely very, very important.